Hello everyone. I hope you all are good and healthy at your respective places. So today we are going to do article writing, and this video is going to be very useful for classes 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th especially. Okay. So before we move ahead, I'd like to talk about something. Here is a misconception that most people have. It is that you cannot score full marks in writing section. But people, it's not true at all. In fact, writing section is one of the most scoring sections of all. Alright, so in this video I'll tell you how to get that done. Now let's talk about the format first. Alright, so we write heading or the title or the topic first in the center. Okay, and then we write the byline or the name of the person who is writing that article, and then comes the body or the content part. Alright, now you cannot neglect the format. As in article, the format holds 1 or 2 marks always, so you should remember that as well. Now moving ahead, you have to keep in mind a few things. You should use good vocabulary. You can always brush it up by reading more. You can work upon that. And the most important thing is that there should be no spelling mistakes. Okay, marks do get deducted for each and every spelling mistake you are doing. Okay, so avoid that. And your article should be presented well. I'm going to tell you that how do we present our article, but before moving ahead, here are a few key points that you have to keep in mind. Like for class 12, we get the article for 10 marks. That means, and that has a word limit of around 150 to 200 words. It should not exceed 200 words. Okay, so while writing an article, we normally write 3 to 4 paragraphs. Alright, and here is a way to count the words. Obviously in exam, while writing your paper, you are not going to count each and every word, but what you can do is you can count the number of lines and multiply it with the number of words in each line, so you will get an average of how many words you have written. Okay, now comes your content or the body, that what we have to write in our article. So first comes what. Okay, now what means क्या, कि हम जिसके बारे में लिख रहे हैं. In an article we normally write about something or some special issue or some social issue or some social problem. Okay, so in first paragraph you have to write that what that problem is. That means the introduction or the definition of that particular problem or the thing you are writing about. In the second paragraph we write why. That means क्यों or the causes of that particular thing. Okay, क्यों हुई वो चीज़. Okay, in the third paragraph we write how. That includes impacts or effects. That means कि कैसे वो प्रॉब्लम अफेक्ट कर रही है हमारी सोसाइटी को. ओके, हाउ इट इज अफेक्टिंग द सोसाइटी और द पीपल अराउंड. इन द लास्ट पैराग्राफ वी राइट द conclusion. Now conclusion has 2 parts. One is preventions. That means रोकना. हम किस तरह उस प्रॉब्लम को रोक सकते हैं. How can we prevent that particular problem, and the suggestions you would like to give. Okay, what do you feel can be done? So you can write your suggestions as well in your article. Now let's move ahead. Now I'm going to explain each and every paragraph with the help of an example. Alright, so you will understand it in a better way. Now let's take an example, say child labor. It's a very basic topic. Okay, so I have written child labor at the top, and then we can say by Aman for example. Now coming to the body. First we have to write what. That includes introduction or the definition. So here we are going to write what child labor is. So child labor is a social evil Okay, so that means it's like an evil in the society. And now I'm going to tell you that what child labor actually is. According to Indian Constitution, no child below the age of 14 years shall be employed to work in any factory or mine. Okay, so here I have written that according to our Indian Constitution, if any child below 14 years is sent to work in order to earn money or whatever reason, then it is considered as child labor and it is a punishable offense. We all know that. Then comes why, as we have talked, and it includes causes. Now, what are the causes for child labor? So, we can write poverty is the prime cause. Okay, poverty, गरीबी एक इसका सबसे पहला cause है. People don't have enough money to buy food for their children. So that is the prime cause for child labor, and because of that reason they have to send their children out to earn and to work in factories or companies. Okay, then second we can say illiteracy. People are not educated, especially in the remote areas or the villages or the rural areas. People are not literate about this thing, that how harmful child labor can be for their children. Then we can write lack of opportunities, because as we know that in villages or the rural areas there are very less means. People over there get very less opportunities because the distance we are facing, we have between urban areas and the rural areas. Okay, next comes how, that how it is affecting the society or the people. Now we can write human resources are getting affected or hampered. Now children or we human are used as resources with some skills or abilities, we all have that. So we are going to companies or the factories, so children are hampered, their health gets affected, and working in the factory results in making their eyesight weak, so their childhood is taken away from them. Okay, and here I've just written key points. That doesn't mean that you are going to write key points in your exam as well. This is just to explain you that what we have to write actually. So you have to make complete sentences, you have to write it in the form of paragraphs and no points. Remember this thing. So next we can write that it leads to crimes and theft. Okay, how? As children are ultimately sent to work in order to earn money, they know that. Okay, so they'll look for easier ways of earning money. So for that what they'll do is they'll murder and they'll steal money. Okay, and then we can write that it also leads to societal imbalance, because children who are supposed to play or go to school are sent to work rather. So it's creating an imbalance in the society. In the last paragraph we'll write the conclusion. As I've told you earlier that there are two parts, one is prevention, another is suggestion. In prevention we can write that people, especially in rural areas or the villages, people should be educated about the harmful effects of child labor. Okay, and more awareness should be created. In suggestions we can give them some suggestions like government should provide midday meal and free uniform or books to children. Now the thing is that poor people send their children to work because they don't have enough money to feed themselves or to send their children to school. Okay, so government can take these basic steps, and they should provide food during the school hours to children. Okay, and free uniform and books for students. And we can write that government can provide free transportation, because as still we have villages where there are no schools, and even if parents want to send their child to school but they don't have enough money to afford transportation. Okay, because villages are far away from the cities, so government should provide free transportation, and it should be made a rule to follow RTE, that is right to education. Okay, that is that free and compulsory education to everyone who is 14 years or less. So now I hope that you all will be able to write a good article, and score good marks. And you can see that how easily we can write our article in these simple 4 paragraphs. Like I have given you, it's a sort of a blueprint for you. Okay, so keep practicing, keep working upon it, and yes, you are always free to add on quotations or the phrases in between or at the end of your article. And again, I'll repeat that you don't have to write it in points form at all. This was just to tell you that how do we present our article, okay, in paragraphs. So all the best everyone. You have plenty of time to practice for it, as exams are, we don't know that when they are going to take place. Keep learning, and if you found this video useful, then do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.